Hello everyone, this is Farooq and you are at Revpanda Live. If you look at the history of iGaming, poker has traditionally been the most complex vertical to integrate for operators. But today we are discussing how that dynamic is completely changing. My guest today is Dmitry Starostenkov, the CEO of EvenBet Gaming. With over 20 years experience in the market, his team is launching a new solution at ICE Barcelona 2026 called One Click Poker. And today we're going to talk about it. First of all, Dimitri, welcome back to the show. Last time we spoke in Lisbon and now we are in Barcelona. How the event is going here at ICE for you and for your team?
Thank you for hosting me again. Thank you for invitation. Yeah, the show is going really well. Like we're seeing that industry is growing and evolving, and there are more and more people joining our industry, and more innovations happening.
Absolutely. You were at your booth yesterday. There was a lot of traffic, so congratulations on your team. Dimitri, I would like to just start with the new product launch that you have got. So, as you know, for iGaming operators, the poker lobby was a sacred place. But you did a bold move at EvenBet Gaming and you introduced one-click poker, and you're effectively killing the lobby to integrate poker directly into casino interfaces. So I'm just curious, like, what's behind this product? Is it because you would like to make the lobby more accessible, or is it a kind of a retention strategy to stop players from clicking away?
The point is we are actively expanding both on emerging markets and on the established markets. And we believe that with this innovation, we could address concerns both of the emerging markets operators and established markets operators. What we are seeing for emerging markets, when poker is not like well known for players there, like for example Africa, it's inevitable for them to teach players how to play this game, and we need to help them making poker more accessible for players. And when average player that has never seen before poker gets to traditional poker lobby, usually they get lost because it looks like an Excel sheet for them, right? Like a lot of information, and like they don't know all these words and terms and all this stuff. So like in touch with our existing customers in Africa, we started thinking how we can help them to land players in poker as quickly as possible. So, and then realize that when players get straight to table and try game itself without going through all these hassles with lobby, they could like understand much faster whether they like this game or not. So like to streamline this onboarding of players for emerging markets, our new product I will address this. And even for established markets, it's also like very good product, because this way we can integrate into funnels of operators poker much easier and much more in much more comfortable way for players. So like for example, how operators on established markets, they love to use our product is to acquire poker players into their casinos, or to keep them playing, to increase retention, to offer them free rolls and so forth. And again, for the pipeline purposes, for the funnel purposes, having lobby sometimes is a bit more complicated to integrate. So like this one-click solution could have very like increase easy, how players can easily access poker, and how players can enjoy poker in this in the whole life cycle of the on the websites. So we believe that this solution could address established casino operators on existing markets, and for emerging markets operators which want to introduce this vertical to players.
Dimitri, I understand that part, like making it more accessible and especially in the emerging markets, teaching the game. These are great. But I've got this question, actually, a lot of question on my mind after what you said. So, in our last conversation, if you remember, you said like poker is a community game and you even touch base on influencer marketing, streamers, and so on. And usually we see avatars, chat boxes, like table selection and so on. Now you do a kind of a like seamless jump into the game. And in this case, how do you keep the social aspect of the game?
Yeah, interesting question. The point is like we're not getting rid completely of lobby. Let's for example, let's remember experience of Evolution, one of the biggest providers on the industry. They have both their games available through main lobby of casino games, and also they have their own lobby where players can choose different stakes, different type of games, and like for more experienced players, right? And they want to keep it the same way. So like on first stage, they just get to know poker, how to play, basic rules, whether they like it or not. But on the same side, they can quickly jump into lobby and start involving inside this lobby, starting getting to know a bit more about community, about different types of games, and change their avatar. First, we give them random avatar, and then they can choose which one they want, or we get to know with more features in poker. So, like instead of just changing the whole approach, we are trying to build like a multi-phase process of how players can be onboarded into the game. So at the end, we are also expecting them to join the community and start consider this as a community game, but we need to help them to make the first steps.
Actually, that's great because you offer options to poker players. So for those experienced ones, they can still go through the lobby, and the new ones who would like to test how it is, they can just use one-click poker, and that's amazing. And as I know from myself, like the nightmare for a poker player in a new poker room is the liquidity, right? So the lobby one that I clearly understand, but for the new solution, which is a seamless one, you just jump into a new room. How do you handle that liquidity problem?
Very easily. Like first, we have shared liquidity based on our VPlay network. So by default, we offer to have solution based on this network. So they will have liquidity from the day one on the tables. And second, for bigger operators which want private operation, maybe for the VIP players which want to play like very limited tables with people who they know. So this way it will not be a liquidity problem, it will be more about like VIP service for the players to play specific high stake games or high stake tournaments.
I see. So it's not going to be an empty table for sure.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
That's great. And one more time about the one-click poker, because this is really interesting product for me. So when we talk about online poker, as you know, there are like a lot of collusion and bots in the market. So by making it more accessible with just one click, how do you handle all these bad actors jumping into the game? And is it going to be, I don't know, like kind of a random seating solution, or is it going to be kind of an integrated fraud detection already in place? Can you please explain that part?
Yeah. First, one-click poker is a perfect solution to address these fraud problems that you mentioned. First, they get onto random table. They can choose which table they sit. They get random avatar. They get random nickname. And they have very limited options to chat and so forth. So like for novice players, it would be perfect not to get into toxic environment surrounded by more experienced players, and then they quickly lose. And second part, we don't forget that we are still having our anti-fraud team and anti-fraud tools in place. And once they get to know with open lobby on the next stage, they will be protected by our tools and our team from the fraud. So like again, with randomization of one click poker, yeah, we can be sure that our novice players will be protected very well.
Well, it may look from outside that, it's just one click and you just go right into that. But on the other hand, you took all the measures and actions to make it even better
Yeah.
at EvenBet Gaming. So
Yeah.
that's great. Amazing. Dimitri, I would like to talk about markets a little bit because, as you know, in the last couple of years, especially last year, LATAM was in a hype, right?
Yeah.
Still here at the event, there's a Casa Brazil, there's a different zone even for Brazilian market. But EvenBet Gaming, you have been as a team in the market for a real long time. And I wanted to ask you two things. Like the first one is, as you know, it's been one full year after the regulatory changes in Brazil. How do you see the market right now? And also in LATAM region, do you see any sleeper market that we are not yet aware, but it might be the new hype in the next couple of years?
Yeah, let's start from your second question. Yeah, I think we can't expect something comparable to Brazil because it's like a dominant country in LATAM and in terms of population, GDP, and so forth. So we could expect some growth on touched markets like Ecuador and Bolivia and so forth, but it would not be like Brazil anyway. But yeah, so there is still a lot of potential to growth in LATAM. This is what I believe, and this is what I'm seeing from the market, because you can easily understand this when you check products available on the market and compare these products with the tier 1 markets. And if you see big gap between these product offering, you can quickly understand that still you can get some market share on this in this territory. And going back to your first question, I think let's say I believe that not regulation getting worse in Brazil. Expectations were too high from Brazil, let's say it like this. So still it's workable market, still it's growing, still operators find their way to work on this market, to grow on this market, to be successful on the market. And we getting new customers there, we get new players there. So I believe in this market. I believe in regulation to be more established, to be more sustainable on the market, to protect not only players but also operators and working on this market. So definitely this LATAM in general and Brazil will be important part of the ecosystem.
Definitely. And another growing market, I would say, Africa.
Yeah.
And you started making some new moves in that market last year. And you were also just telling me about the market, and you need to actually educate the market a little bit because not everyone may know much about poker, right? So I was wondering about your activities. First of all, how do you approach the African market? And the other thing I'm really curious about is the teaching part that you said. Are you making the rules simpler? Are you doing any kind of adjustments in the game on your end?
Yeah. So our approach is to start what in Africa is already from the countries that already adopted poker on a significant level, and then based on this operation start to go further to other countries of Africa to establish our presence. So definitely South Africa is a good start for Africa. It's a very unique country. It's seems like tier 2 country, but the whole players' behavior and LTV and so forth very close to tier 1 countries.
Yeah, it's a quite mature market. I noticed it as well.
Yeah. I can give you examples that many game development companies, not gaming development companies, they often test their product on South African market in order to understand whether this game could be successful in the US or North American market. So their behavioral patterns are very similar. So it's quite good like inception point for new products. So yeah, we started there with a few biggest operators. We are growing there. We are seeing some traction and a lot of interest from players for this game. And as a next step, we want to go further to other countries. To be honest, we tried to start with one operator establishing 16 different countries of Africa and launched our product in all of them. And this is what we learned based on this launch. So African players, they know very little about poker, and we need to adapt the whole process, the whole onboarding, the whole look and feel for African market. This is what we are doing. Maybe not changing rules, but giving them tips, giving them video instructions, guiding them through the whole process. And One Click Poker is also part of these initiatives to help them to learn poker and onboard them. So it's definitely 2026 we'll spend in this direction, adapting our product for African market.
Dmitry, I'm now connecting the dots very well. So you started your presence in African market and you made your moves, and then you listened to the market, you see what's happening and what players demand. And then you came up with one-click poker solution to make it even more accessible for the players and teach them the game. So that's just incredible. Like, it's not only tech part, but also it is really listening to the market. So really congratulations on your team for this action.
Thank you. Yeah. This is what I think any product company should do, like going through circles, like roll out something, listen to feedbacks, what operators say, what their players say, and then go back, work again on the product, and then roll it out again. So always go through this cycle of improvements and feedbacks.
Absolutely. And you're not only growing in the markets, you're growing as a team as well. So I think right now we are looking over 250 people team at EvenBet Gaming, and yourself, you're in the leadership positions in iGaming over 2 decades already. So I'm really wondering about the challenges that you have had throughout the way. Maybe we can talk about this, like what were the major challenges you have seen so far?
The main challenge is my understanding, is my skills growth. Like this is how to say, I mean, the whole success really depends only on this important thing, like how ready I am for leadership, how ready I am to understand what is important, what is not in my company. It changes from the worst to the best. So, for example, it took me a few years initially to understand how important sales and marketing in my company, for my company growth. And then once I understood, I started doing this. And first I started doing this myself, with a very little marketing team and no sales at all. It was my one-man show. And but then next level of understanding, like that I don't need to do it myself. I can't copycat myself. And I need to, instead of going out and selling myself, and instead of going out and doing marketing myself, I need to find people and inspire them to do it, not like to rule them, like not to give them specific tasks, but inspire them to do, and then they contribute with aspirational thinking, with loyalty and so forth. So like this growth of understanding how you manage company is inevitable to be successful, especially when you grow, when we have already grown to 250 people, like this level, like you can't approach this with thinking and mindset of 10 people company.
Absolutely.
It's absolutely different way of management, way of communication with personnel and so forth. So like you start knowing like these new words like corporate governance, right?
Absolutely.
Or mission or values of your company. And before, for example, it's also a great example of understanding. Like all my life before, I had not understand what is mission and values. You know, every company, every corporate, every Coca-Cola and all these big companies, you can read their mission and values on their websites, and they all look like a bit like too generic, right?
Like buzzwords or something
Yeah.
looking for SEO purposes.
Yeah, exactly. You think, all this is
Yeah.
like a bit of bullshit. But once you get to this point, when you have 250 people and you have already, like, you can't reach anyone with your direct contact,
Yeah.
you start understanding, okay, this is not really bullshit. It's tools of management of bigger companies, and you need to use this tool as well. So like this
Yeah.
understanding is like inevitable
Yeah,
to
and
keep growing.
they all mean something for you at this stage after years of experience. So this is definitely the same for me. Like I look at them in a different way right now. And Dmitry, as an experienced leader in iGaming, what would you recommend to those who would like to start their career in iGaming and maybe even step into the leadership roles in the future?
Again, I'm not tired to repeat this. I believe that education, like it's not I can't say any single form of education, but education in general, like reading and I don't know some courses, some business management schools, whatever. Like education is inevitable. It's very important for growth as a leader, even in our industry, because our industry is becoming more and more competitive. It's tougher and tougher to get some place on the market, and those who are very skilled in management, those who know how to use all these tools will win. So like my recommendation is like not to skip this, not to like think that it's not important. Like think about education.
You are recommending it, and also you just said in the previous answer that you first looked at yourself when it came to the, let's say, leadership development. So you were like trying to understand marketing, sales, and other departments. So yeah, that's an advice that you already implemented yourself. Dmitry, before we wrap up the show, is there anything you would like to share with our audience? How they can reach out to you, for instance, to learn more about the one-click poker and other products that you're offering?
Yeah, first of all, we are still here on the show. Our stand is 2V30. You can reach out on our stand, or after the show, you can find me on LinkedIn, and I would be happy to advise you about our products, about our innovations, and so forth. And our team, our perfect team, is like also able. So feel free to reach us out.
Definitely. Dimitri, thank you for all the insights. We spoke about markets, your new product, One Click Poker, and also we touched base a little bit on leadership and career topics that I really wanted to speak with you. So I really appreciate your time within this busy schedule that you have at the show. So thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Dimitri. Everyone, thank you for watching and joining us today, and I will see you all at the next Revpanda live session.